Hey guys, it's Charyl here from Planner with a Praise. If this is your first time visiting my channel, then welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. If you've been here before, then welcome back, my friends, and I hope that by now you are a part of the Praise team. If you're not, you know what you have to do, right? Just go ahead and hit that free subscribe button provided to you by YouTube. In doing that, you will be helping me reach my 500 subscriber goal by the end of 2021. So in today's video, I will be demonstrating to you how to create your very own action folder for any of your planners that you may have. So right now, I am just cutting down some of the sticky notes that I have that I want to use for this project. And the sticky notes that I am using, they are from Hobby Lobby, and I've had them for a while. I want to say that they are a part of the Paper Studio collection, and I think they have a brand called L, and that is where these sticky notes came from. So once I am finished cutting these out, I'm going to go ahead and show you the tools that I'm going to be using for this project. So I'm really just needing 2 packs of these sticky notes, and the reason why I'm cutting them instead of just peeling them off of the board is because I want to keep this strong backing when I apply it to the folder that I am creating. Okay, let me just go ahead and get these scraps out of the way. And from there, I will show you all the tools that we are going to need to create this action folder for our planner. So already I have my sticky notes. I'm going to need a ruler for measurements. Here I have 2 pair of scissors, a precision cut pair and then just a regular standard pair of scissors. I have an eraser, my bone folder, a pencil to mark my measurements. I have a hole punch, some double adhesive tape. Then I just have this embellishment for decoration. All right. The other 2 things I have is I have 2 different sizes of cardstock, and I chose these 2 because I thought they would be great complements to my budget planner, which is where the folder is going to be placed. So this cardstock came from a book that I purchased from Michael's so many years ago, but it's like one of their hot by 12 pads. That's where I got that. And this is also from Michael's, and it was just a 65-pound weight paper pack. And so I just thought that these would be really, really good colors to go along with my budget planner. So my budget planner is a classic size, and so because of that, I will be measuring my folder to go in that size planner. So to help me out with the accurate measurement of the folder, I'm just going to pull out 1 sheet of paper from my classic size planner. And then I am going to take a pencil to go ahead and mark out the measurements that we need. So I'm going to make a mark here. And the reason why I'm using a pencil is so that I will be able to erase any visible markings. All right, so I'm not going to need this for the next few minutes, so I'm going to put that to the side. And then I'm going to pull out my Cricut paper trimmer so that I can go ahead and cut out this paper. So this is a 12 by 12 paper. I don't know if I told you that before, but it is. And we are going to go ahead and cut it down to the size that I need. And I'm going to put this to the side so that we can use this later on. And I'm going to put this to the side as well. All right, so before we continue, let me just make sure that my cuts were accurate. And yes, they are perfect. So whatever size planner that you want to make your action folder for, just go ahead and take out a piece of paper from that planner to help you with the perfect measurement. See, there you go. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to actually keep this paper out, because one thing I want to do next is I want to go ahead and create the holes for the folder. Now, I do have a Happy Planner hole punch, but for those of us who may not have that tool, I don't want you to think that you're not able to create this folder. And so for that reason, I'm going the extra mile to show you how you can still create these holes even though you don't have that Happy Planner hole punch. So what I'm doing is I'm turning the cardstock to the back, and the back is the area that's going to be least visible. And what I want to do is I'm taking my pencil and I am just tracing these holes right here. And what this does is it's going to show me where I will be punching the holes with that 99-cent hole punch that I showed you earlier. Okay, so now I'm bringing in this cheap hole punch that I think I got from the 99-cent store, and I'm going to go ahead and begin to make my punches. Okay, now that I have my holes inside the paper, and I'm going to go ahead and let me just show you. Here, there is cuts that we need to make so that the page slides onto the Happy Planner disc. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to take my scissors and make 2 tiny cuts on each side. And again, if you don't have the Happy Planner and you just have a regular binder, this step you don't have to do. But for me, I have to do that because I have a disc-bound system. Another thing that I want to tell you is that when you're making these slices, be careful not to make them too big, because you don't want to create splices that are too big and then the page is coming off of your disc. All right, so there we go. We are just about there, believe it or not. The next thing I want to do is we are going to go ahead and measure out our pocket, because remember, we are creating an action folder. So we are going to use this brown cardstock to create our pocket. Okay, and so we have to do some measuring, and what I want to do is I want to make sure that when I'm creating the pocket that I don't cross over into where I place the holes. And so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it in just about here. So let me just use my ruler to see how many inches that is. And it looks like it's just about 3¼ inches. But what I'm doing, instead of using the ruler, is I'm actually using this line right here. And it gives me an indication of how high I want my pocket to be. And actually, I'm thinking this is a little bit too low. So I'm going to bring it up to the next line, and I am happy with that. So I'm bringing in my pencil again just to do a little marking here. And then I am going to just take a visual guess of how wide I want this to extend. And the reason why I'm cutting beyond the size of the folder is because I need to have a flap that I can fold under to attach the pocket to the folder. So I hope I explained that right. I'm sure that my visual will be a lot more clear than what I did just now. So I'm going to just go ahead and give myself a little marking here, and then we're going to bring back in the Cricut trimmer and cut our pocket down to size. So here we go. All right, let's take a look-see. Wonderful, wonderful. So now that I have the paper cut to create my folder, I'm going to go ahead again and just decide where I want my scoring to be. So it looks like I want to bring it here. Let's see. So I'm going to start with this side here. And these are strict guesstimates, guys. And it really doesn't matter how wide my flap is as long as I'm able to fold it under. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And then lastly, at the bottom, I'm going to create an additional flap, and it's going to be here. So let me go ahead and get my ruler so that I can properly line this up. Let's see. And I would say that the scoring allowance that I have is roughly 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so this is where my bone folder comes in. I am going to take my ruler again, and I'm going to use my bone folder to score those lines that I just created. So I'm just going to take it like that. And I don't know if you can see it, but it did give me a nice little score here. And we're going to do it again 2 more times. Okay, so now I can go ahead and fold in those flaps, and I can use my bone folder just to give me a nice crease there. Just like I told you that I do have the Happy Planner Hole Punch, I also do have a scorer. But it's so important to me that when you're watching my tutorials especially, that I show you an easy way to do things without having like all those intricate tools. Like even this bone folder, I could do the exact same thing that I'm doing with this bone folder with this ruler. Okay, so if you have a ruler, you could do the same thing that I'm doing with this bone folder. All right, next up, my friends, is, you know what I did, guys? I could kick myself right now. I just realized that I'm working with the wrong sheet, but that's okay because I'll just cut this down. I can't believe I did that. All right, so anyway, the next step is here where these creases meet. I'm going to take my scissors and we are going to cut out that section to give us a square. And then before we go to the other side, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this flap here at the bottom at an angle. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when we fold these flaps over, it just gives me a cleaner corner there. So we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. We are going to cut that square out where the 2 scoring lines meet. And then I'm going to just cut a nice little angle here. And there you go. So now, guess what I have to do? I have to bring my scorer back in because I need to cut this down. So here I go again. And I hope that little snafu is not keeping you from following this tutorial. Okay, my friends, so I am back on track, and now we can go ahead and apply our pocket to the folder. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and just adhere the adhesive tape to the pocket, and then we'll bring in the folder. So what I just did was I went ahead and adhered the corners right here. I just want to cut a little bit of this off. All right, next I'm going to put some adhesive on the two sides. And when you're adhering your adhesive, and it doesn't have to be the tape runner, it could be any type of adhesive you have. It can be some glue, anything that you feel comfortable with that you believe will hold your folder attached to your pocket, or keep your pocket on your folder, however you want to look at it. Okay, so what I'm doing next is just going ahead. I've already put my adhesive tape around the pocket, and we're just going to go ahead and adhere it to the folder. So I'm just pressing down with my bone folder to make sure that that tape is on nice and tight. Okay, and it has a really good grip. And there you go. Now my pocket is attached to the folder. Now I'm going to bring back in the sticky tape. Remember this? I was working on this at the beginning. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more of that adhesive tape, and we are going to run it along the back of each of these sticky notes. And I'm putting a lot on because I want to make sure that it doesn't come off. And that was another reason why I cut around the sticky notes instead of pulling it directly off the cardboard, because I'm expecting that this cardboard will just allow it to adhere and have a stronger fix on the folder. So I'm going to put this here. And when you are making your action folder, you can put your sticky notes wherever you want. Now I'm just pulling up some of those pages so I could get to the back of that cardboard and make sure that I have a good grip on the folder. There you go. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. Okay, that looks pretty straight, right? Let's see. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just take that bone folder and make sure that we are attaching this real good. In fact, I'm going to turn this over and just rub it along here on each side. And now I feel pretty good about how well this is gripping to the folder. So guys, we are done with the basics of this action folder. The one thing I want to do though, just because it looks a little plain down here, is I'm bringing in my embellishment, and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it right here to this pocket folder. Plan on it, girl. And we are going to put it right here. And this is an embellishment that I did make. Okay, now we are going to add one more pocket, and it's going to be a small pocket that I'm going to put right here, and we're going to use the exact same steps to create this pocket to create a small pocket right here. Okay, so the pocket is done, and we are going to bring the action folder back in, and just go ahead and adhere our pocket right to the larger pocket here. Bringing in my bone folder once again to just make sure that this pocket is secure. And guys, guess what? We are done. So one of the main reasons that I wanted to bring this tutorial to film is to show you how easy it is to DIY your own planner accessories. When you are into paper planning, that can be an expensive hobby, but it doesn't have to be. It literally does not have to be. And that's why I wanted to show you this, to give you an idea of some of the things that you can do to create your own decorations and own accessories for your planner, whether it's a happy planner or another type of binding system. You can totally do this on your own. The other reason why I did it was because I actually need something like this for my budget planner, because when I am doing my billing and banking each Friday, I find that my desk is a complete mess because I have my bills here, then I have like a scrap pad here, I have pens here. So what I can do now is I can put all of my bills in here, and then when I go and do my billing and banking, I could just take this whole entire folder out, put it to the side, and then I could begin to work. And when I need to write notes or anything, I already have these sticky notes and they're right here. And so it just frees up this space on my desk. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my new action folder in my budget planner, and then guys, we will be done. So if you enjoyed this video, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and comment below and tell me what you thought about today's tutorial. Are you planning on creating your own action folder? And if so, are you going to use any of the skill sets that you learned in today's video? So before I put this back, I totally forgot I need to replace this page here. So let's do that as well. Okay, and then my action folder, I'm actually going to put it right here. Please help me reach my 500 subscriber mark by the end of the year by just hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. Guys, this is Charyl from Planner with a Praise, saying peace and blessings.